Alright, what's up all you YouTube monsters? This is Spooky, and I'm making this quick little video because all the time I get lots of people who ask for advice on how to improve your game in Granblue Fantasy Versus. And one of the big things that I noticed that you can improve on, whether you're a totally new and a total scrub to fighting games in general, or even if you're an amazing player that has played lots and lots, is I find that a lot of people have trouble with neutral in this game. So in this particular video, I'm going to talk to you guys about neutral as a concept. Instead of just going at you saying, hey, your neutral is bad, we're going to discuss neutral directly and several different concepts of neutral so that you can understand how to have a better neutral and a better ground game in Granblue Fantasy Versus. Alright, the first important concept of neutral is whiff punishing. And here in this example, we're talking about Percival and his great buttons. One thing that I find a lot of people do is they know how to stand outside the range of his buttons, but they don't understand that actually you can press a button and counteract, just like we're doing here with Catalina. And using this, you can actually reverse the situation on them just for making a minor mistake. This, of course, is an extreme example, but whiff punishing is an extremely useful way to counteract any type of aggressive play from your opponent when they overextend. Tied in with whiff punishing is interrupting. Sometimes your opponent will use block strings, tick throws, and other tricks to attack you. These tricks are not necessarily true block strings, and because of that, you can often use your fast jab, such as with Catalina here, to interrupt them and turn the tide of their pressure. In this next example, I'm going to show you how you can whiff punish Ladiva's Lariat. Because the Lariat is a high, as long as you use a little bit of prediction and a little bit of reaction, you can actually duck underneath when she tries to confirm to it and get your own type of punish. If you have a super skybound dart available, you can also do a lot of damage and turn the tide on her for trying to attack you. Now, tied into whiff punishing, like we just talked about, you can also use interrupting to deal with Ladiva trying to adjust to your whiff punishing. So in this example, Ladiva is using lots of headbutts to keep us in check. But by using our jab interrupt, we can actually stop some of the headbutt strings and also reverse the pressure. Now, combined with whiff punishing and interrupting, there is another important way that you can win neutral versus your opponent, and that's by evading their attacks and countering. Here in this example, we're using the amazing slide of Lancelot to low profile this fireball trap from Gran. Unique to Granblue Fantasy Versus, you can also use your roll dodge and spot dodge to evade attacks and counter. The spot dodge is great for when the opponent is already close to you, while roll dodge is great for closing the gap to the opponent and counteracting their laggier and slower moves. This next tip is about dealing with anti-airs while you're trying to win the neutral. One thing you can do to prevent the opponent from getting big damage on you is just not press a button and deny them a counter hit combo. You can also evade their anti-air attempts like we're doing here with Lancelot and his amazing jump unique to get around them trying to stop your jumpers. Now, this next set of tips is for when you have already won the neutral and want to attack more effectively. First off, you should really understand the difference between the many types of block strings that you can do in Granblue Fantasy Versus. This first example of a block string is a true block string, which means that once a block string has begun, there is no opportunity for the opponent to interrupt. These block strings are not very mix-up heavy and they're not very tricky, but they're very good for taking a moment, taking a breather, chipping away at the opponent, and also staying close while denying them the ability to uppercut and get away from your mix-up. These are some examples of real block strings. By using our plus frame moves in succession, we create strings that the opponent cannot counteract without using their Invincible Reversals. If they try to use their fast 5-frame buttons to react to you, instead you will interrupt them and you'll be able to confirm to a big combo. Once you train your opponent with your real block strings, one thing you can do is mix in fake block strings and tick throws. These are block strings where actually if the opponent did press a button, they might be able to interrupt you, but because they're afraid of your real block strings, they're more likely to continue blocking. This is a great way to set up your throws and also continue to establish pressure on an opponent that's blocking. Many opponents will use their Invincible Reversals to break up your mix-up. You can counter this with safe jump setups, which allow you to attack but recover in time to block their reversal. Safe jumps will make your opponent apprehensive to uppercut because of the huge punishment you can dish out. It also makes your tick throws much more effective. This particular grind safe jump is quite popular and quite effective. However, depending on which character you're choosing, you should practice and figure out the best safe jumps that work well for you. Alright, so now that we have some great technique for winning the neutral and also being offensive after winning neutral, we should talk about what to do to reverse the opponent's situation whenever they knock us down. One thing that I find a lot of people don't like to use is the guard button. In fact, I've heard people say things like the guard button is scrubby and things of that nature. In fact, I think the guard button is very important in high-level tech. Here in this example, we have Loane going for this great left-right mix-up after the sweep that's actually quite hard to react to and block on time. However, if we use the guard button like you see here, actually we can block the mix-up without even having to guess which way you're going. This type of guard button trick is also extremely effective against Lancelot, who's going for a lot of his jump U tricks. You can easily just guard your way out of everything. Here in this next example, we have Catalina using some of her amazing plus frame real block strings. Now it doesn't really matter during which point of this block string I try to press a button. The block string is so strong that it will guarantee a combo. However, if we use our Invincible Reversal, the EX uppercut, we can actually reverse this type of situation. In fact, if you're feeling smart, you can also go for your super skybound dart and try to nullify the pressure and win the round on the spot. One last way that you can try to reverse the tide of the opponent is what I call baiting the bait. Now here we have Grind using one of his great safe jump setups, and in post safe jump he's baiting our uppercut. However, if we know that his bait is coming, one thing that we can try to do is trick him by going for an immediate throw. Also as fair, we can use some of our tricks such as the web swing or even super jump into dive kick to escape the corner while Grind is still waiting to bait us from our uppercut. Although in this case Grind the attacker is favored, in this way we can try to steal away his momentum and survive an otherwise lost round. Anyway everyone, please try out some of these techniques if you have not before. I hope that these techniques will help you improve on your gameplay in Granblue Fantasy Versus, whether you're a beginner or an advanced player. Thanks everyone, and stay safe out there.